What if the rule meant to protect everyone became the weapon used to destroy you? And what if the one thing they feared most, proof, was already whispering from inside your bag? What if the company rules against recordings? Was it used to silence me? A manager's smile, hiding threats behind closed doors. My job, my name, my dignity on the line. Rumors spread faster than facts. My inbox turned hostile. HR called me in, neutral faces, sharpened questions. He said he had evidence, I had only my truth. But my canvas tote carried something he didn't expect. Stay close, because the lies you're about to hear were crafted to sound like truth. Cleveland, Ohio. A gray Monday at Rivernorth Logistics. I'm Maya Trent, 36, inventory analyst, 5 years without a single write-up. The new regional manager, Victor Hale, saunters through the floor like he owns oxygen. He announces a tight audit and quotes policy, no personal devices, no recordings, confidentiality above all. I nod like everyone else. The first spark lands when he suggests padding a backorder report. It's harmless, he says. Protects bonuses. I refuse to falsify dates. That afternoon, a whisper stirs, Maya's hoarding SKUs for side deals. Someone feeds it to Denise Park in HR. Denise's emails arrive like little gongs. Come by for a chat. Hale's grin widens from his glass office. He invites me to a coaching session, door closed, blinds tilted. Claims I'm not a team player, that attitude can be disqualifying. Policy hangs on the wall, bold text, 0 recordings. He taps it. The floor grows colder. Lila Moreno, my closest coworker, warns me that 2 supervisors suddenly remember I miscounted pallets. They've never once said that to my face. Hale calls another meeting. He leans in, expensive cologne, soft menace, and lays out options, sign a performance plan admitting inconsistencies, or face termination for misconduct. I ask for specifics, he smiles. It's about whether we can trust you. Trust, twisted like a tourniquet. Hale schedules a third-party check with security. Ramon Cole, our night supervisor, is pulled to observe. Papers slide across the table. I see nothing factual, just reports, anonymized and foggy. I mention unionizing whispers I've heard around the warehouse. Hale's eyes ice over. That path ends careers, he says. Denise folds her hands, expression blank. We're simply ensuring compliance. My stomach knots. In my tote bag, the little keychain recorder I carry for safety clicks alive. I never meant to record anyone at work. It's a safety charm I keep from late bus rides, sound triggered, buried under wallet and charger. Hale's voice spikes, it wakes. He wants me to backdate manifests to disguise a missed carrier. I say no. He nods at Denise, non-cooperative. The device keeps breathing. My pulse drums. He schedules a final review for Friday and warns me not to consult outside. The air feels staged, preloaded. And then, the knock at the door froze every breath. A quiet tap, then the door opens. Ramon steps in with a clipboard, eyes flicking between us. He looks like someone asked him to witness lightning. Hale hands him a confirmation memo already half-signed. Ramon's eyebrow lifts at the timestamp. Lila messages my private Slack, careful. Heard he's building a case that you leaked price lists. I haven't. I keep breathing. In my bag, the recorder holds words like fragile glass. I leave the room and sit in my car, hands trembling on the wheel. I listen, just enough to confirm it captured Hale's demand about backdating. Then I search. Ohio is a one-party consent state for recordings. At least, outside a clearly private context. But company policy forbids recordings on premises, violation equals termination. Iron corkscrews into my throat. Legal okay meets company no. I choose the truth anyway. Evidence beats rumor. Hale moves fast. Morning huddles feature pointed remarks about loyalty and sabotage. People avoid my desk. A vendor's email arrives with a friendly reminder that confidential price tiers must remain internal. Someone copied them, anonymously, on an external thread. I didn't. Lila swears she didn't. I compare headers. The leak came from Hale's assistant's workstation. I screenshot quietly. The assistant, Brandon, won't meet my eyes. Fears a draft crawling under every door. Denise summons me again. The conference room smells like lemon wipes and judgment. She reads phrases that don't belong to my mouth. Maya said she'd bury the evidence if pressured. I never said that. I ask who alleged it. She won't say. Hale pretends regret. We were hoping you'd choose honesty, he says, tilting that policy placard toward me like a badge. My tote presses against my calf, small, heavy with truth. He announces a floor-wide ethics reaffirmation and audits my email. Finds nothing. Then he produces an unmarked thumb drive, claiming it contains a recorded phone call proving I coordinated a leak with a carrier. Policy forbids recordings, but somehow he has one. He calls it anonymous evidence, unreviewable by me for source protection. Denise nods along. My throat burns. The strategy is clear: drown me in rules, then break them in secret. I met a labor attorney over lunch, Marla Chen, calm, surgical. She says, keep everything. Screenshots, timestamps, witness names. If he used a recording against you, under a policy that bans recordings, he opened the door, she says. Marla drafts a letter invoking my right to review evidence used in a termination decision. We CC corporate compliance. Lila agrees to testify that Hale demanded backdating. Ramon texts me, something's off with his memo timing. The rule he cast on her was now aimed squarely at him. Marla's letter hits inboxes like a fire alarm. Corporate compliance schedules a video call for Wednesday. Hale looks carved from marble on screen. Denise sits steadier than a lighthouse. I request access to the anonymous recording. Hale declines. Marla counters, any evidence used must be reviewable or excluded. I state, on record, that I possess audio of Hale instructing me to backdate, a violation. Silence stretches like a wire between us. Compliance asks for dates, rooms, names, and I deliver. Lila forwards Slack timestamps showing Hale prepping a performance narrative before any alleged leak occurred. Ramon sends a photo of the memo with a timestamp wedged before my supposed disobedience. Meanwhile, IT metadata reveals the vendor leak originated from Brandon's login after Hale's keypad entry to his office. Brandon requests a personal day. Hale calls it coincidental. Denise massages her temples. Hale begins slipping. He holds a floor meeting, voice too loud, jokes too sharp. He blames bad actors and says tough times require tough hands. Someone mutters, like yours? He hears it. That afternoon, an email landed from corporate legal requesting an in-person review of all audio materials Friday, his mysterious thumb drive included. Marla replies that I'll attend with counsel. The building seems to inhale. My tote bag waits like a sealed vault. Friday arrives with brittle sun. In the conference room, the blinds are open, city traffic hisses below. Present, corporate legal, compliance, Denise, Hale, Marla, me. They place Hale's thumb drive in a labeled bag, chain of custody scribbled. Legal presses play. Static, then a woman's voice, supposedly me, discussing tiered pricing. The cadence is wrong. The sentences sound stitched. Marla requests waveform analysis. Legal agrees. Hale's jaw jumps. My turn. I slide the small recorder from my tote, scuffed metal, honest weight. I explain its automatic trigger and the night bus that made me start carrying it. Company policy forbids recordings, I acknowledge it. But I say this, he used a recording against me first. I'm defending my job and name. Compliance nods. Legal frowns. Marla gestures, play it. I do. Hale's voice arrives, smooth, then edged, ordering me to backdate manifests to protect leadership. The room ripples. I watch Denise stare at the wall, as if the paint might answer. The audio rolls to Hale's warning not to consult outside, his veiled threat about union talk. Legal pauses, rewinds, listens again. They ask for timestamps, I provide them, cross-referenced with door logs Lila quietly pulled from IT. The pattern tightens like a net. Hale's shoulders square, then sink half an inch. But hidden in plain sight was the truth no one wanted to see. Marla points to the policy poster on the wall, NO recordings. Mr. Hale, she says, you introduced an illicit recording into a disciplinary process while banning them for everyone else. Legal asks Hale who provided the thumb drive. He calls it a concerned employee. Then Ramon clears his throat. He saw Hale dictate lines for a clarifying script 2 nights earlier. Brandon's name flickers across the table like a confession about to breathe. Compliance produces Brandon on a video call. He looks sick. He admits Hale told him to simulate my voice using auto-tuning software for training purposes, then forgot to label it. He says he was told it would never see HR. Denise recoils. Legal's pen stops moving. My recording continues to play, Hale's own voice threatening retaliation. The stack of rules he weaponized begins collapsing inward, every line cutting toward its architect. Legal states it plainly, the fabricated audio is misconduct. The directive to backdate manifests violates policy and, potentially, the law. They suspend Hale pending termination review and apologize to me on record. Denise's cheeks flush as she admits she relied on Hale's credibility due to his role. Lila, listening outside, exhales audibly. I sit very still, feeling the ground steady beneath my shoes again. And in that instant, the room fell silent, every eye turning to the truth. Resolution moves like trained hands. Compliance voids the performance plan, retracts any mention of leaks, and circulates a written exoneration to the entire floor and vendor list. HR schedules policy training, no secret evidence, no anonymous recordings without verification, and equal standards for management. They update the policy. If any recording is used against an employee, the employee may submit responsive evidence, lawful or otherwise, solely for defense. The rule is finally even. Aftermath tastes complicated. Relief, anger, a little grief for hours spent doubting my own voice. Ramon stops by my desk, sets a sticky note. You kept your footing. Respect. Lila brings coffee and a donut with absurd sprinkles. Denise apologizes, carefully, sincerely, promising to advocate harder when authority leans too heavy. Corporate legal approves back pay for stress leave I never took, plus a bonus labeled ethical resilience. I laugh once, then breathe fully. Weeks later, I walk past a glass office that used to mirror Hale's smile. It reflects only daylight now. I slide my tote under my desk, power on my screen, and see the memo I helped draft, clear, even-handed, protective. One final image stays with me, a small recorder, forgotten in a bag, catching the moment truth gasped and then stood up. The lesson is simple, when power bends rules, documentation restores balance. If stories like this resonate with you, subscribe now. Because here, every story uncovers truth, delivers justice, and leaves a lesson worth remembering.